listen to now. Smart Madu Georgia.
And the anchor of Nigeria Now at ONN and the Nightingale Radio International. I bring you a very special message. The message the African people did not listen to then, that they must listen to now or perish. Listen and hear carefully and decide where you stand in this struggle.
We must unite now. We must have one army. We must have one currency. We must have one foreign policy. We must be united. And I can hear the Osagyefo saying, I do not want to be the leader of that country. I simply want unity. And I'm saying that we must live here with one united government. They listen not to the Osagyefo. I can still hear those immortal words of the Osagyefo Kwame Nkrumah telling his Ghanaian peoples that the independence of Ghana means nothing if the rest of Africa is not independent. I can hear the Osagyefo Kwame Nkrumah.
You heard it right. Yes, Africans, you heard it right. We don't have any choice but to act now. We must be independent, truly independent, to enjoy the good of Africa. Otherwise, we will remain slaves in perpetuity. Take a position now. Taking cognizance of what is happening in Africa this minute. We were not programmed by the Almighty God to be slaves and to be subservient to any people. We are Africans.
The visionary message the African people did not listen to then that they must listen to now. Smart Madu Georgia.
And the anchor of Nigeria Now at ONN and the Nightingale Radio International. I bring you a very special message. The message the African people did not listen to then, that they must listen to now or perish. Listen and hear carefully and decide where you stand in this struggle.
We must unite now. We must have one army. We must have one currency. We must have one foreign policy. We must be united. And I can hear the Osagyefo saying, I do not want to be the leader of that country. I simply want unity. And I'm saying that we must live here with one united government. They listen not to the Osagyefo. I can still hear those immortal words of the Osagyefo Kwame Nkrumah telling his Ghanaian peoples that the independence of Ghana means nothing if the rest of Africa is not independent. I can hear the Osagyefo Kwame Nkrumah.
Good morning, fellow Nigerians. This is Smart Madu Georgia, the convener of Open Nigeria and Africa Unite, and the anchor of Nigeria Now at ONN and the Nightingale Radio International from Houston, Texas, United States of America. I just wanted to share this very important information about Africa with you before I go to sleep. It is 1:09 a.m. Central Standard Time here in Houston, Texas. I hope you guys in Nigeria are rising up. Yes, 6 hours difference. Hey, Godwin, thank you very much for joining. Yes, we have a job to do. Africa is under assault. And what happened before now, long before now, is what I wanted to share with you. In 1963, when they formed the Organization of African Unity, there were two groups, the Monrovia group, the Casablanca group, of African leaders. They sat in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, and talked about the best way forward to move Africa. You know, they all agreed that there was need to build one country out of Africa. And they even named it the United States of Africa. Some people wanted to move fast, those led by Kwame Nkrumah. Yes, they wanted to move fast and then go right away and take a go at it. Some people said they needed time. The dilly-dallying was what led to their inability to immediately build a country so the whole of Africa could be one. Yes,
Africans, you heard
that's how we got here. And now
but to act.
we don't have any choice anymore.
We must be independent,
We are running out of time.
truly independent,
The only way
to enjoy
Africa can be free
the good of Africa.
is through the unification of Africa. And I will tell you why it is compelling
Perpetuity.
that Africa comes together
Take a position.
to build one country.
Taking cognizance
Yes, the threat
of what is happening in
Africa faces from Imperial Europe and other emerging world powers
God.
is tremendous.
Slaves
And it requires
to be
the
subservient
unity of purpose,
to
the unity of one people
we
to combat these threats. Remember,
Visionary message there.
Africa has been through a lot of situations. Africa has been through two forms of slavery. Trans-Saharan, that lasted for 700 years. Trans-Saharan, the Arab slave traders came to buy African slaves, took them to the Arab world. And you know what they did to the males? They castrated all of them. Yes, so they will not populate their population. Right? They castrated all the male slaves from Africa. All right? Now, that was one. 700 years that lasted. And who were responsible for it? Those people were recognized as traditional rulers. They have never been good. And that is why I am moving for the dismantling of that institution. They have never been good, just as they are bad today, corrupt. They sold our people into slavery for 700 years to the Arabs. Okay, as if that was not enough, the Europeans came. And then we went through the same cycle of transatlantic slavery for 400 years. Who sold our people? The traditional rulers and their cohorts. They have never been good. Their ancestors were bad. Their descendants are as bad as you can see today. And constitutionally, they don't have any power over anybody in Nigeria. But for the fact that some our people want to keep them symbolic figures, and they are not doing any good. They are not even keeping our traditions. They are not defending our traditions and our customs and all that. So what good are they? They are only good now at causing confusion, selling people's lands, creating all kinds of mess, aligning with politicians to rob our people. They are not good. But that is by the way. Now, look at what is taking place right now. The colonial masters, when they came after their Berlin conference in 1884 and 1885, they set off on a mission to balkanize Africa. They created some big countries like Nigeria. They created some smaller countries. Yes, and awarded them sovereignty. Countries that when they shout, they will recall. Yeah, like Togo, Benin, even Burkina Faso. Yes. So they created all this mess. What was their purpose? To take our mineral resources, exploit us. make us look like we are animals, and all that. They call us poor. They throw trash at us. They have no respect for us because they look at us as even lesser than their dogs. So we missed that first opportunity to form a country. But the vision did not die. An 80-year-old vision has refused to die. Now, why do we have so much troubles in Africa? We are having so much troubles in Africa because the continent is so divided. Even inside the countries, there's so much divisions among them. Like what is taking place in Nigeria. When you want to do an election, some people will be telling you about the north. Someone will be telling you about southwest. Some people are telling you about southeast. It's our turn to be president. We don't look at quality. We don't look at competency. We don't look at courage to do the right thing. We don't look at knowledge. And we don't look at the exceptional content of character required to build, utilize, expand, extend, and sustain capacity. Yes, capacity for the good of all of us. Now, if the Europeans could come together in 1884 and 1885 to balkanize a continent that they knew nothing, absolutely nothing about, and then set the people against themselves, why is it so difficult for we, the children, we, the victims, whom they say that they gave us independence? The independence they gave us was chain of poverty. So what is preventing us to come together to undo the damage that they did to us and build our own country the way we want it? But they will not have it. What have they succeeded in doing? They use our people. They install puppets that they call our leaders, who stand in the way of progress. As long as their pockets are lined, the imperial powers don't care. Can you imagine going to Cameroon, for instance? A 90-year-old man who is on diaper, who doesn't even know what's going on anymore, is their president. Their Senate president is 90-something years old. How can a country like that develop? And how can a continent like that, when they put all the countries together, how can we develop? This is the problem we are having. And this is the reason it is compelling for us to rebuild Africa. This is why we must go back to the vision of our founding fathers that talked about the unification of Africa. There is no time is most important than now to make it happen because of the threats that we face. Yes, they can come and kill anybody they want and get away with it because we are not united. But I love the spirit that is coming now. If I can put it into action and bring the continent together, break all the boundaries, allow free flow of movement of people and goods and services, that is the best thing. Europeans did it. They did it just less than 20 years ago when they formed the European Union. Now, when you are in Europe, you can travel from France to Germany to Italy to anywhere in Europe seamlessly. No border, nothing. The same train. If you want to fly, you fly. No ceremonies, unnecessary ceremonies at the airport. You don't need a passport. Yes, if they can do it, why can't we do it? They don't want us to do it. They make it impossible. Every African country you want to travel to, if you have 20 visas, why are we traveling to African countries with visa? We are the same people, brothers and sisters. The Igbo people make it impossible for us to make it happen in our continent. But it is happening in their own place. This is the reason why there is need for a new consciousness. And that is what Ibrahim Traore is preaching today. They hate those who have minds of their own. They hate those who can stand up and ask questions. They hate those who want to be authentic and who they are. And that is why the moment we are in now. I tell you this, if Africa was one country, we won't be having problems dealing with Boko Haram. Not at all. Omer Penny, thank you very much. We won't have problem dealing with Fulani bandits. Yes, because We will deal with them decisively and without sentiment. We will deal with them with progress in mind. We will deal with them with the heart of true Africans, that we want something to happen positively to our continent. But where are we? Where are we now? Where are we in Nigeria? If they say, some people will do something crazy in Nigeria, their tribesmen were lying behind them. But think about an Africa with a Kenyan soldier operating in Nigeria. He won't have no sentiment down to do the right thing. Yes, he's not going to have no sentiment. He's not going to want to be an Arab. He's not going to be a European. Enugu is bleeding. Share, share, share. Post-freedom. Share. What's going on in Enugu? All right, maybe they have started killing again. Yes, so all the killings that we are seeing is because of the kind of structure we have in Africa. So that is the reason now we are of the opinion, very strong for that matter, germane opinion, that we break down all the boundaries and let the free flow of people and movement. Yes. So there won't be any need of people going to concentrate in South Africa. And then, we start having tension there. So the whole movement will be evenly distributed. If you go to South Africa, you are tired, enter another bus, go to Cairo and be there. As long as you are doing something genuine and germane, everybody will be happy. That is why you don't have a lot of tension in Europe. See, everything moves straight, but they don't want it to happen in our place. They want to continue to rule us like dogs, like animals in the cage. We are not animals. That is what Traore is telling them. So on the 30th, which is 2 days away from today, come out in your big numbers. Africans are going to protest across Africa against the threat to the life of our brother leader, Captain Ibrahim Traore. So I wanted to quickly share what we were told before that we did not listen to, that we must now listen to. The message from Kwame Nkrumah, the first president of Ghana. He made that statement in 1963 when leaders from Africa, independent African countries, came together in Addis Ababa. And they talked about fast-tracking the unification of Africa into one big country with one government. Yes, one government, free movement of people, goods and services, one reserve bank, one economy, and most importantly, one military. When Africa, right now as it stands today, Africa has 1.5 billion people. Yes, so if out of 1.5 billion people, we have 300 million soldiers, you know what that would be? And I want to remind you, African, we are some of the smartest people on the surface of this earth. So we are very innovative. We are very ingenious. But what did they do to us? They make us lose self-confidence. They make us hate ourselves. Self-hate. We don't place value in what we can do. We want to continue to buy from the inferior sources for what we can do better in our place. And can you imagine science and technology, African grown? Yes. Looking at us, looking at our environment, we adapt our technology to our environment. We build our own financial systems so we don't have to depend on theirs. And then we adapt our agricultural system to our environment about what we are. So we don't continue to eat trash from outside. Because now what they are trying to do is to systematically destroy our agricultural system so we can be eating theirs. So they determine what we eat. And when somebody determines what you eat, he can decide one day that he's not going to give you food. He will starve you. Their seedlings that they are bringing to Africa have expiry date. Yes, they don't last more than 1 year. So that you come back every season to buy from them. So when your country has any problem with them, like Traore is having problems, they are creating problems with Traore. If Traore, Burkina Faso, was dependent on them for food, they would lock the food supply to Burkina Faso, and the people will start starving. And then the next thing you have is uprising against Ibrahim Traore. They have not been able to do that now because the people now produce what they eat. They did it to Zimbabwe. They did it because of Robert Mugabe destroyed the Zimbabwean economy. The economy still has not recovered. Yes, they destroyed their currency. Yes, so we should learn a lesson and then rely more on ourselves. It is okay to collaborate with countries, collaborate with them to the level that is tolerable, the level where you can be respected, not at the level where you are seen as slaves, a servant. Yes, we are the world. We feed the world. We give the world what the world needs to thrive. Our raw materials is what is driving their industries. Now, we must build the type of leadership that can invest in our people, change our educational curriculum, adapt it to who we are as Africans, and then we start flying. Yes, that way we will be independent. And there's no reason why, because of all this stress all the time, Africa should unite fast, and build its own nuclear armament so that before they come, they will think twice. This is what they want, they don't want. That is why they have been in the way of African unity. That is why they have been putting puppets in power in countries like Nigeria. Yes, where a criminal, a rogue, a certificate forger, an identity thief, and a drug dealer is in charge. That is why they have Paul Biya where he is. That is why they have Alassane Ouattara in the Ivory Coast. We don't want any of those people anymore. So that is why they are scared of a united Africa. They are scared that if Africa comes together, they will be in trouble. And actually, it's no Africa, no Europe. We feed them. They are parasites. They should be coming to knee before us and not the way they are doing it. Yes, threatening us with military invasion. We should not be afraid. This will serve us as a warning. Yes, what has been going on, what they are trying to do to Ibrahim Traore, yeah, if we allow it, we will be done for. I thought I shared this with you. So listen one more time.
Listen to them that they must listen to now.
Nigeria
Smart Madu Georgia.
and the anchor of Nigeria Now at ONN and the Nightingale Radio International. I bring you a very special message. The message the African people did not listen to then, that they must listen to now or perish. Listen and hear carefully and decide where you stand in this struggle.
We must unite now. We must have one army. We must have one currency. We must have one foreign policy. We must be united. And I can hear the Osagyefo saying, I do not want to be the leader of that country. I simply want unity. And I'm saying that we must live here with one united government. They listen not to the Osagyefo. I can still hear
They didn't listen to him.
those immortal words of the Osagyefo Kwame Nkrumah, telling his Ghanaian peoples that the independence of Ghana means nothing if the rest of Africa is not independent. I can hear the Osagyefo Kwame Nkrumah.
You heard it right. Yes, Africans, you heard it right. We don't have any choice but to act now. We must be independent, truly independent, to enjoy the good of Africa. Otherwise, we will remain slaves in perpetuity. Take a position now. Taking cognizance of what is happening in Africa this minute. We were not programmed by the Almighty God to be slaves and to be subservient to any people. We are Africans.
The visionary message the African people did not.
All right. That's it for this morning. I am going to expand this message in our next broadcast on YouTube. I hope you join us. To connect with us on YouTube, you go to at channel 1 on ONN. At channel 1 on ONN. Before I make the broadcast, I'm going to share it so you guys can connect. It's going to be big because there are a lot more issues that I'm going to be talking about in line with what is taking place and the threats that Africa faces and what we must do as the African people to protect our own. We have allowed them kill our heroes and our prophets, the good ones that should demonstrate leadership. They don't last long. They knock them out and we keep quiet. But the evil ones like Bola Ahmed Tinubu, they let them stay because they steal through them. We are tired and it's time for us to make a bold statement. Yes, to the imperial forces and those who threaten our existentiality. God bless you guys and I love you. Bye for now.